Yeah, I think in 2000 when he invested 25 crores, 25 kodi, that time was a big number.
ಹೌದು.
And in fact, my family alli ellaru, everybody said don't do it. It's a big risk and all that. I really enjoyed this conversation. Although I didn't really speak too much Kannada. Sorry about that. My Kannada is very broken. The bigger the ride, the more expensive it is. And the more complex the ride, tumba expensive agutte. So if you want to build a big roller coaster in India today, it will cost about 100 crores just for the roller coaster.
ಹೌದಾ?
We are the largest amusement park chain in India. So because each of our parks get almost more than 1 million visitors every year. So in Bangalore we get 1.2 million, which is about 12 lakh visitors every year.
Oh, wow.
So
Amusement parks in India, what's the market cap?
I think it's a 10,000 to 15,000 crore kind of industry. This industry we cannot survive without government support because we need a lot of land. And if we buy the land at very high prices, then the project is not viable. You might have seen sometimes if you come to Wonderla, 1 or 2 rides will be not working. The reason for that is we would shut it down for like 1 month. It will be completely disassembled and reassembled to make sure that every part is checked.
When do you scrap a ride? For example, scrap ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ when do you retire a ride?
In Bangalore, we have invested about 200 to 220 crores till now. But to build that today will cost me 600 to 700 crores.
Absolutely. Today on Just Curious, it is Arun Oru. Your complete name being Arun Chittilapilly.
Yes.
Because that second surname is little tongue twister tara. So there I go, so that I don't mess with the second name.
Correct agide. So Chittilapilly is a town in small village in Kerala.
Kerala,
so
is it?
that's
Okay.
where we are from. So
But here you are, your visiting card being the co-founder and MD of Wonderla. ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದವ್ರಿಗೆ ವಂಡರ್ಲಾ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣನೇ ಅದೊಂಥರ ತಿರುಪ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ. ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋಬಡಿ ಇನ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಅಥವಾ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ದೇರ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿನಾದ್ರೂ ವಂಡರ್ಲಾ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ very curious to explore the journey of Wonderla from your I think father's vision to how you're taking it further. Firstly, Arun ಅವರೇ, welcome to Just Curious. ಹೇಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. Now I was traveling till yesterday. I just got back.
Oh, is it?
So nice to be back in Bengaluru. So
where were you?
I was in Bali for the weekend for 3-4 days, and I have a friend who moved there recently. So really just for the weekend I had gone, and now I'm back.
Bali andre usually people think of holiday, honeymooning and all. ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ನ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದು ಓವರ್ ದ ವೀಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಂತ.
Yeah, so my friend is a spiritual guru there. So he's doing yoga and retreats and all that. So I went to just check all that out. He wanted me to come, and I said okay. No. So he's moved from Bangalore actually.
ಹೌದಾ?
So he was a real estate developer who moved there, and he's doing a yoga school and all that. So it's just interesting.
So firstly, before I get into the discussion as to everything about Wonderla, what, why, where, how, wanted to understand who you are as a human. Because of late, I think navella hengandre as humans we keep changing, like how the number changes as you grow.
I think with age change ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು.
So what's your morning routine like? ನಾನೀಗ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. Now the theory is ನೀವು prioritize the 80%, the rest will fall into place anta. For example, a 80-20 principle ali it spoke about, and it's like 80% is in eating and 20% is exercising. Likewise, relationship andro 80% is giving, 20% is receiving. Likewise, learning 80% is understanding, 20% is reading. Hange talking, very applicable to me. 80% is listening and 20% is speaking. Talking. So I mean, ಒಂದೊಂದು ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರು ಏನೇನೋ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೂ ಆರ್ ಯು? ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ಯೋರ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ರೂಟೀನ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್?
So I'm an introverted extrovert. I think I'm basically an introvert. I like to spend time reading and by myself quite a bit, but I also go out and just explore everything. My daily routine is basically starts early in the morning. I wake up at around with the sun, usually by 6, and my first thing I do like a 10-minute 10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಮೆಡಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅದು sometimes I do without any app or anything, but sometimes I do with an app.
ಯಾವುದು?
I use something called Waking Up. and it's by this guy called Sam Harris. I just spoke to you about him.
The podcast
So
that he runs.
he's also a thinker, and so he talks about meditation in a very non-religious kind of way, like just as mindfulness. There is no
Okay.
religion or any thought
Got it.
associated with it. So just to center your mind and figure out what is happening inside your mind, because that I think is the most
Difficult.
you spend difficult, and you spend most of your time with your mind, right? So I do that, then coffee, then I go to the gym. I have a gym in the building, so do one and a half hours gym ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕಾಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್ ಕಾಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಫೀಸ್, ಗೋ ಟು ಆಫೀಸ್, or sometimes I work from home. Sometimes I'm traveling. Then the whole day goes like that. Evening, again come back home, and again I'll watch something, or I'll be reading a book, or those kind of things. That's what I do.
What are you watching right now?
I'm watching Shogun, which is a show on Netflix about Japanese. I think it's a fiction, but also has some fact. It's rooted in facts. So
I was watching Billions. I've just started Hotstar ಅಲ್ಲಿ. It's about ಈ suits ಹೆಂಗಿದೆಯೋ ಅದರದೇ, the more serious and the no drama, hardcore, epic.
Yeah, I've watched Billions. I think I watched one season of Billions, and then after that I kind of lost. I lost interest.
ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವೇನು ನೋಡ್ತಿರೋ, ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮಿಂಗ್ ಯು, ಆ ಥರ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸಸ್ ಲೈಕ್? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಬಿಲೀವ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ವೈಟ್ ಹಾಳೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಹಾಕೊಂತಿರೋ ಅದೇ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬ್ರೂಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಯು, ರೈಟ್?
So I think what I spend my time doing is I try to spend a little bit of time on entertainment, but I also try to spend a lot of time understanding geopolitics and what's happening in the world, because there's a lot of things happening, and I feel like we don't know enough. Andre history class ali we have not learned too much about what is happening, and whatever we learned also is not relevant anymore.
Exactly. Not updated. Yeah.
It's not updated. So how do you know what's happening in the world? You have to watch what is. So I watch a lot of those kind of things. Or after that, I spend a lot of time researching about amusement parks and what is happening in my industry, what is happening to the entertainment industry all over the world. Amusement parks are also going through a change, especially after COVID. Some parks are doing well, some are not doing well. There is a change towards technology and virtual reality and those kind of things. So I try to read about and watch stuff about that. So these are things that I spend time on. And then self-development, nutrition, all kinds of things.
Wow, there's so much. ಎಳೆ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದೊಂದೇ ಬಿಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. Firstly, now bringing the conversation back to Wonderla. Why the name? Wonderla is such a nice name. Andre, let me give ನಮ್ಮ audience a perspective. Of course, ನೀವು after your masters in Swinburne University.
Yeah, I did a masters in industrial engineering. ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗಾಗಲೇ ನಿಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಕೊಚೌಸೆಫ್ ಚಿತ್ತಿಲಪಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಹಿ ಹೆಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ವೀಗಾಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? 2 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. So ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ವೀಗಾಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವಾಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ ಥರ. Like it was a new business.
ಆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲೇ 75 ಕೋಟಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ. when we look at these numbers in 2024 only, it looks big. But way back in
I think in 2000 when he invested 25 crores, 25 koti, that time was a big number. And in fact my family alli ellaru, everybody said don't do it, it's a big risk and all that. But my dad was like no, I want to try and do something different. So agide start agide allinda. And I was just finishing my studies, and I thought this is a fun thing, right? I mean, my dad's other business is manufacturing, and I thought this is way more exciting. So I thought, well, I should give this a shot. And that's how I got into it. And I was kind of helping my dad initially and I was learning also. I was 20, I was also 24, 25, 25 ವರ್ಷ. So I've been doing this for a long time. And what got me excited in the industry was that this is a business which makes people happy. And people spend ಬರ್ತ್ಡೇ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಆ್ಯನಿವರ್ಸರಿ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು, ವೆಕೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಮ್ಯೂಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ a business which also creates a lot of lasting memories for people. And it's also a fun thing where a lot of roller coasters, water park. It was a very exciting thing. So I thought this is what I wanted to do. So
Nice.
that's how I got into it.
Okay. So, risk takers. English ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಫೇಮಸ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಲಕ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್
Fortune favors the brave.
ಇಸ್ ದ ಬ್ರೇವ್ ಅಂತ.
Yeah.
ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಟುಡೇ ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ ರೆಟ್ರೋಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಟುಡೇ ವಿ ಫೀಲ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಲೆಡ್ ಟು ಅನದರ್. ವಂಡರ್ಲಾ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬಿಗ್ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್
It's a brand,
ಯಾ. ಅವತ್ತಿಗೆ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ಎವರ್ ಅಪ್ಪಂಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಆ ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಅಂದರೆ ಹೂ ಆರ್ ದೀಸ್ ಗೈಸ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದೇ ಮೇಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಂತ?
No, I think in a way ignorance is bliss, because I was young and I was restless. I thought I wanted to do something interesting, different. So I thought this is an industry. So a lot of people said this is very risky. You're putting people, you're taking people's lives into a hand in a way, because you're putting people on machines and things like that. But I felt like this is a wonderful place. This is like a dream world, wonder world, or like it's like a fantasy place that people get to experience emotions and thrills which normally they will not experience. So because of that I got into it, and I don't regret it. But the reason why this is still a very niche business is, like you just said, it's actually also investment is very heavy, also operationally also very intense. So that's these are the things makes this industry very challenging also.
ಈಗ ಸಿಂಗಾಪುರ್ ಮಲೇಷ್ಯಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿ ಬಂದಿರೋರಿಗೆ ಈ ಕಮ್ಲಾ, ವಾಟ್ಲಾ, ಗೋಲಾ,
Wonderla. That's how Wonderla came in, actually, because we were going to Singapore and Malaysia to do research for parks, and we just thought this La thing was a very and the other reason is Wonderland is a very common Wonderland, so we thought we'll make it Wonderla, so it's a short for Wonderland.
ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಹೆಸರು ಹುಟ್ಕೋತಾ?
Yes.
ಓಕೆ. ನಾವು ವಿತ್ ದಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಈಗಾಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಈ ಕಡೆಗೆ ನೀವು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ವಂಡರ್ಲಾ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಇನ್ 2005
ವಂಡರ್ಲಾ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ.
ಅದು ಆ ಸೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಹೆಂಗಾಯಿತು? ಬೆಂಗಳೂರನ್ನ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ?
So now, I had gone to MS Ramaya College for engineering.
Sorry.
So I was here only. So 96 to 2000 I was here doing my engineering. And I felt like the Bangalore alli ಈ ಥರ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅಮ್ಯೂಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಐ ಥಾಟ್ ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ವೇರ್ ವಿ ಕುಡ್ ಡೂ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ at that time Bangalore was going through the IT boom, the Infosys and Wipros were growing. So we thought there's a lot of future in Bangalore.
ಅದೇ ತುಂಬ ಜನ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಟೂರಿಸಮ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗಲೂ ಪರ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಬಂದು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಜನ ಓಡಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Correct. So we thought it's going to be a large market, and I think we were right. So we kind of moved in early, and we thought we should do a big project. And that's how Wonderla came into life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you saw a gap, and secondly you saw
ಈ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ I thought like, because I was also a college student, lot of colleges ಇತ್ತು ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ. RV ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಇದೆ, ರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಇದೆ, ತುಂಬ ಇದೆ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್. ಸೊ ವಿ ಡಿಡ್ಂಟ್ ನೋ ವೇರ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ಹಾಲಿಡೇಸ್ ದೋಸ್ ಡೇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ವಿ ಥಾಟ್ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಡೂ a park like this in India, so kids can go and have a good time.
Little tidbits. I think the first amusement park banidu 440 years ago. I think Denmark alli it's called as Bakken. I don't know how to pronounce it. Adu bitre the history says ಈ ಅಮ್ಯೂಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶುರು ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ ಫೇರ್ಸ್, ಪಿಕ್ನಿಕ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್, ಪ್ಲೆಜರ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ಸ್.
I think the oldest surviving park is called Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen.
ಅದೇ ಡೆನ್ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
Denmark, yes.
ಹೌದು.
So it was called something else before that. It was just a fairground. It's like our Kaban Park or Lal Bagh that they then converted into an amusement park.
ಸರಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಇರೋ ಪ್ರಪಂಚ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇತ್ತು. ವೆರಿ ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಸ್ ಟು ನೋ, ಈಗ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಕರೆ ಅದು?
80 acres, 85 acres.
ಅಷ್ಟು ಎಕರೆ ಜಾಗ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ರೈಡ್, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಮನೆ ಕಟ್ಟಿಸಿದಾಗ ಬ್ಲೂ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಹಾಕೊಂತೀವಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಸ್ ಟು ನೋ, ಈ ವಂಡರ್ಲಾದು ಇಷ್ಟು ಎಕರೆ ಜಾಗ ಬೇಕು, ಬಿಡ್ದಿ ಹತ್ರನೇ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಏನೇನು ರೈಡ್ಸ್ ತರಬೇಕು, ಈ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು?
So we knew what we needed to build.
Sari.
And we knew the vision was to build a grander version of our park in Cochin.
Vigaland.
In Vigaland in Cochin. So we looked at different areas. We looked at Devnalli, we looked at Hoskote side, we looked at those days even Sarjapur was also empty, not like today's Sarjapur. Then we were looking at this Mysore road. We felt that Mysore road was more pretty because of the whole Ramnagara, the hills, and it had a lot of natural beauty.
Sari.
And we wanted to be in a location where it was naturally beautiful. So that's how, and then the main highway access to Mysore road. So these are two things, and water availability. So that's also important. Kaveri. Yeah, Kaveri.
ಸರ್ಜಾಪುರ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಲ ನೀರೇ ಸಿಕ್ಕಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ.
So these are all the pointers to zero key on a location. Okay. ಆವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೇ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಅದರ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟಿಟರ್.
ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟಿಷನ್.
ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ
ಇನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್ at least.
ಸೊ ಈ ರೈಡ್ಸು ಇದನ್ನ ತರಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ಇಷ್ಟಿಷ್ಟು ಇನೋವೇಷನ್ ಈ ಥರ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ R&D ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು?
So we have an engineering and R&D department which we started from the beginning itself, because we knew that we wanted to build rides, and ಈ ಥರ ರೈಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ.
Okay.
So we decided to do it ourselves, and it was very expensive importing from other countries. So we decided to build some of the rides ourselves. ಸೊ ವಂಡರ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ವೀಲ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮದು ಡಿಸೈನ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸೈನ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಿಲ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ವಿ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಐಕಾನಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ unique also, which you can see from far. So that's how we built the giant wheel. Yes. Yeah.
So curious to know how expensive are these rides, because ಈಗ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟಿಗೆ 105 crores the project anta is what the Google this thing says, Bengaluru in 2000.
It was 105 crores of investment in 2010 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So this amusement park investment happens over a long period of time.
Okay.
So we started, I think, with about 75 crores. But by the time it was 2010, I think we had spent about 100 crores. So 105 crores that time. Now today, I think it will be more than that. It will be close to about 200 crores.
So there are rides, ಬೇರೆ ತರ. I mean, ಈಗ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಅಮೆರಿಕನ್ ರೋಲರ್ ಕೋಸ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ 1884 to distract people from Satan's temptation, the fact says. ಮತ್ತೆ ಈಗ
I didn't know this myself. Thank you.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಫೆರಾರಿ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್
has the largest roller coaster.
ಹೌದು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ
but I think now it's going to be overtaken by something in Saudi Arabia.
ಹೌದಾ? ಓಕೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ತರ ಈಗ ನಾಗಾಶಿಮಾ ಸ್ಪಾ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಅದು ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಡ್ರ್ಯಾಗನ್ 2000 is the longest roller coaster in the world with 4 minutes and a speed of
95 kilometers per hour speed. So almost 100 kilometers speed.
Right. And also I've been told, ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಫೆರಿಸ್ ವೀಲ್, ಒಂದು ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಅಮೇರಿಕಾಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಟು ಐಫೆಲ್ ಟವರ್ ಅಂತೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಈ ಥರದೆಲ್ಲ ಟಿಡ್ ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ವಾಸ್ ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಸ್ ಟು ನೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಹೌ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಿವ್ ಆರ್ ದೀಸ್ ರೈಡ್ಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್, ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿ.
So the bigger the ride, the more expensive it is, and the more complex the ride, ತುಂಬಾ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಿವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So if you want to build a big roller coaster in India today, it will cost about 100 crores just for the roller coasters.
ಹೌದಾ?
So the roller coasters that we have in Bangalore, I think new one will cost about 50 crores, 40 to 50 crores.
Crazy.
And the Ferris wheel also, like you said, if you want to build a big Ferris wheel, it will cost you more than 10-15 crores. Yeah, so these are expensive machines. And also maintaining is also expensive. So you need a big team to maintain each machine.
Okay. So ಈ ಥರ today I think there are 60 plus rides in Wonderla ಅಲ್ಲ? ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಡ್ರೈ ರೈಡ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ವಾಟರ್ ರೈಡ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಜನ ಬರೋದು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ? What does
No, I think say? So we Wonderla's idea was we will give our guests a bit of everything. So we had water park, we had dry park, we had something for kids, we had something for adults, we had something for the whole family, because Indiaದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಎಂಟರ್ಟೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಥರ. So amusement parks. So we want to come as a family with cousins, friends and all that. So we wanted something for everything. and that's why we did it like it's a combination of a water park and amusement park, which I think even today we are the only company which does it like that. Normally the water park is separate, amusement park separate, ಎಲ್ಲ separate ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
ಸೊ ಈಗ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಅರೌಂಡ್ 300 ಅಮ್ಯೂಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ 2500 ಇಂಡೋರ್ ಅಮ್ಯೂಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ವಂಡರ್ಲಾ ಇಸ್ ಕಂಪೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ನೀವೇ ಅನ್ಸತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಮ್ಯೂಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್
we are the largest amusement park chain in India. So because each of our parks get almost more than 1 million visitors every year. So in Bangalore we get 1.2 million, which is about 12 lakh visitors every year.
Oh wow.
So
I think ರೀಸೆಂಟಾಗಿ ಏನೋ ವಂಡರ್ಲಾದು ಏನೋ ಆಫರ್ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಡೀ ಮೈಸೂರು ರೋಡ್ ಜಾಮ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ.
that was a Women's Day offer we had done. So buy one get one free for Women's Day. So after COVID we blocked the entire Mysore road, and I think the cops were upset with us because Mysore road ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಮ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು.
How do you handle ಈ ಥರ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ಸ್? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಕೆಲವು ಸತಿ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ನಿಮಗದು ಗುಡ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ವೇ, ಬಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಲಾಶ್ ಎಲ್ಲ.
I mean, we didn't expect it to be so popular. We thought so it was after COVID and we were trying to get people to come out. So that time we did this special offer, and what we didn't realize it, so many people will come without booking and come in buses and trains and taxis, and also the whole road got jammed, which we didn't expect, honestly.
So later, how did you handle the situation as a brand?
It was fine. I think we had to send back a few people, and then we gave them free tickets so that they could come back another day. And then, so we did all discount tickets. So that's all we could do. And then the cops obviously helped us a lot. The police was very helpful to manage that. But I think overall it was a positive thing actually for us.
Next question. What's the capacity of Wonderla on a normal day? Or on the other side? ತುಂಬ ರಶ್ ಇರೋ ದಿನ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನನ ಅಕಾಮಿಡೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ?
Our maximum design capacity is 12,000 visitors per day, and but we don't usually have 12,000. We have roughly between 3 to 4,000 is the usual number that comes.
ಇದು ವೀಕೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿರುತ್ತೆ.
Some day like Dasara Haba or your what is it, Christmas New Year time or summer, full time only you get about 6 to 8,000 visitors per day.
So far, I think ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸು ವಾಟರ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರು. ಅಂದರೆ ಏಷ್ಯಾದ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಅದು ಬಾಂಬೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು. ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಥಂಡರ್ ಕೊಯಂಬತ್ತೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು, ಮತ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು ವಾಲ್ಕೆನೋ, ಡ್ರ್ಯಾಗನ್ ಕೋಸ್ಟರ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದ್ರು. ಈ ಕಡೆ ಫನ್ ಸಿಟಿ, ಫನ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಈ ಕಡೆ ತುಂಬ ಇದೆ. ರಾಮೋಜಿ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ಸಿಟಿ, ಸ್ನೋ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್,
ಅಪ್ಪುಗರ್, ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಡೌನ್
84 ಶುರು ಆಗಿದ್ದು. ರೈಟ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ವೆರೈಟಿನ ನೋಡಿರೋ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ಗೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇವನ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ನಿಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ. ಯಾವ ಥರ ಥಾಟ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯುನೀಕ್ನೆಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ತರಬೇಕು ವಂಡರ್ಲಾಗೆ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ತಲೆ ಕೆಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಿ?
So I think like I said, we wanted it to be a unique place for the whole family to come, and we also wanted it to be value for money. So Indian audience ke paisa vasool irbeku. So that's why we decided that we're going to do a combination of water park and amusement park, everything for one ticket. You pay that one ticket and that's everything else is included. We don't charge extra. Like ತುಂಬ ಅಮ್ಯೂಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೈಡಿಗೆ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್, ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿಡನ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಥರ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಒನ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಯು ಪೇ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಯು ಡೂ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ವೇ ವಿ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ದ ಡ್ರೈವಿಂಗ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್.
ಅದೇ ಯುನೀಕ್ನೆಸ್ಸು, ಪೈಸಾ ವಸೂಲು, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಂದೇ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು
and clean and safe and hygienic and all those things. That we spend a lot of time and money for that. The water cleanliness ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು, the toilets, restrooms ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಲ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ರೈಡ್ಸ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ನಮಗೆ. ಸೊ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಫೋಕಸ್.
ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ, ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಒಂದು ಸತಿ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಬಂದಾಗ ವಾಟರ್ ರೈಡ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸೈಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ವೇವ್ ಪೂಲು ಅದು ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಷನ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಆವಾಗ ಬಂದಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನನಗೆ ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸೈಟ್ ಮಾಡಿತ್ತು.
So later on the rides will change. The rides change. It's constantly changing. So like 2005 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ರೈಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ರೈಡ್.
ಹೌದಾ? How often do you change the rides? ಅಂದರೆ you keep innovating?
we have to keep adding new rides every 2 years. We add some new rides,
Howda?
so it gives people a reason to
Revisit.
come back. Yeah.
What's the latest addition or latest 5-10 additions?
So the latest 510 one is a big roller coaster. We opened in 2017 or 18. Then we have something called Sky Tilt, which is near the Sky Wheel itself, which is like a tilting ride, which is there in Chicago. We brought that for the first time to India.
Sky Tilt.
Yeah, so that one.
Mhm.
Then now we are building something called Mission Interstellar, which is like a virtual reality ride, and you get to experience space. I don't know whether you watched the movie Interstellar.
Yes, yes.
So it's kind of gives you a little bit of that, going through that wormhole and the space and all.
But
those
you're
things.
in a
You're in a
you're
ride.
seated in a coaster or
Yeah, it's
something
like a
wherein
moving
it's
ride.
moving. ಈ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ
Something like that.
ಅದೇ ತರದ್ದು ಇದು ಓಕೆ
Yeah.
ನೈಸ್ ಸೊ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ರೈಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ರಿಕಾಯಿಲ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ನಿಮ್ದು
Recoil is a roller coaster that I was
coaster
telling you
ಅಲ್ಲ?
about. So it's our reverse looping roller coaster. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಸ್ಪೆಷಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂದರೆ half the ride forward, it goes forward, and the reverse and it goes reverse for the remaining half of the ride. So it does half forward and half reverse,
ಸರಿ
and it goes about 6 times upside down, and
ಹಾಂ
I think has a top speed of 80 kilometers per hour. So
ಸೊ
it's
ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ
very
ಯಾರು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈ ರೈಡನ್ನು ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಇರಬೇಕು ಇಷ್ಟು ಲೂಪ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್
So we have ride designers. So this ride was imported from Netherlands. So because of that, I mean, it's already a proven ride for them, and we are not the first customer. They've sold it to many parks abroad, and we just like the design, and it is a very compact roller coaster also. So for us, space also was ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ constraint irtu. So we came. That's why we decided to get that roller coaster. I think it was a good decision because it's our most popular ride now.
ಹೌದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯುವರ್
Maverick, yeah.
ದ 360 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸ್ಪಿನ್ ಅದು
You've done that ride?
ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಸೊ ಅದು ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈಸ್ ಕ್ರೀಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಇದು ಫುಲ್
Yeah. That is ice cream.
ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈಸ್ ಕ್ರೀಮ್ ಯಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಐ ಲೈಕ್ ಟೆಕ್ನೋ ಜಂಪ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಫನ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಲೇಜಿ ರಿವರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಮೈ ಫೇವ್ರೆಟ್ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದೇ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು
Chill.
ಏಜ್ ರೈಟ್ your priorities change. Initially you'll be like, oh,
I want to do all thrill rides. Then you want to chill after some time.
After that you're like, okay, now let's take it easy.
Yeah.
So and so Recoil is your most popular ಇದು and high thrill rides ice cream ಇದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ how's Insanity doing?
Insanity is also very popular ride. It's one of our first rides. It takes you like all 360 degrees all across, and it's I think not a very long ride. It's maybe 2 minutes I think, because that kind of speed and G-force you cannot tolerate for too long. So
Right.
it's a very short ride. It's a very popular ride even today. But I think we might change it, and now that ride might go to one of our newer parks, and I think it's going to Chennai. Next year.
ಯಾ ಚೆನ್ನೈ ಬೇರೆ ಹೊಸ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಭುವನೇಶ್ವರಲ್ಲೂ
Yes, we opened a park in Bhubaneswar about 2 months back. And so it's very new for us. Outside South India, namdu first park adu.
ಸೊ ಈಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಈಗ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಸಿನಿಮಾದವರು ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ
Pan India, yes, that is the plan. So we started in Cochin, then Bangalore, then Amele Hyderabad. Then fourth one we are doing in Bhubaneswar. We just opened. Fifth one Chennai. So South India full cover agide. Amele now the next one we are looking at Delhi, North, NCR region. Then we are looking at other cities like Ahmedabad, Madhya Pradesh, Indore, and all those things. Yeah.
Can you help us with the market size of amusement parks in India? What's the market cap?
I think it's a 10,000 to 15,000 crore kind of industry, but growing at about 15% per annum. So we are one of the larger players. We are in 4 cities, but we want to be in 10 cities by say 2032. So that is the plan. So slightly aggressive expansion path we are doing. because we feel like it's already a proven concept ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. So we want to, and a lot of demand we are getting from other states saying we also want a Wonderla park. So
ಅವರೇ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ,
governments are approaching. So that's why we did it, for example, in Bhubaneswar. It was through government invitation. Yeah.
Wow. So once you get an invitation from the government, what is the understanding? ಈಗ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ಸಿಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಅವರು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ಥರ ಬರುತ್ತಾ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯು ಗೈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ರೇಸ್ಡ್ IPO in
Yeah,
between.
money. We raised money in 2014, 10 years ago.
ಹೌದು, some 180 crores or something you guys
Yeah,
had
that is
raised.
for our Hyderabad park.
Okay.
So now, because of Chennai and Bhubaneswar, and then we are looking at NCR and a few other parks, we are also looking at raising
ಮತ್ತೆ
money again.
ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇದು IPO?
Maybe within 6 months we will raise some more money. So we'll use that money to expand. But coming back to your question about government support, this industry we cannot survive without government support, because we need a lot of land. And if we buy the land at very high prices, then the project is not viable. But the attractive thing for a government is that we generate a lot of employment. So
ಅಂದ್ರೆ
Wonderla permanent jobs, 1,000 permanent jobs ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
ಓಹೋ, ಒಂದು ವಂಡರ್ಲಾ ಲೈಕ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್, ಲೈಕ್ ಮೆಟ್ರೋ
Metro City Wonderla will create 1,000 jobs.
ಸರಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಇನ್ಸೆಂಟಿವ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್.
Permanent, yeah, it is. And then GST revenue for the government also will be very good. They get GST revenue.
ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅವರು ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ಸಿಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಲೀಸಿಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರಾ? ಹೌ ಡಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್?
So I think every government is different. So in Orissa, the government has given us land practically for free for a 99-year lease. They've not charged market prices. Very nominal lease they have given us. And there is also investment subsidy. So if we invest, say 200 crores, they will give 20 to 25% back.
Cashback
As something like tax rebate tara. So they're doing that. And so they want, I think a lot of governments want tourism to improve in their state. So Orissa, for example, they have a huge thrust on tourism because of their temples,
Puri.
and Puri Beach and Jagannath Temple. So they're trying to develop Bhubaneswar and Puri as a tourism hub for the east region.
ಹಾಗಾಗಿ the more the visiting points, the more the tourism will flourish.
So they want amusement parks, they want resorts, they want everything to come up.
ಸೊ ಈ ಮಧ್ಯ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ವಂಡರ್ಲಾ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅಮ್ಯೂಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇವೆಂಚುಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಸಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇ ಬಂತು. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಬ್ರಿಲಿಯಂಟ್ ಪ್ಲಗ್ ಇನ್. ಈ ಥರ ಮೂವ್ಸ್ನ ವಾಟ್ ಡಿಕ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್? ಅಂದರೆ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಓನ್ ಹಂಗರ್, ಅಥವಾ ಯು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಲಿ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಲೈಕ್ I think there's some theory it is. For example, when you buy a camera, immediately first thing is you'll buy a lens.
Then
After
you
that,
buy the tripod, you'll buy this, you buy that. Something like that. But I think for us, it's already a proven business model in the West. For example, in Disneyland already they've ಈ ಥರ ದೊಡ್ಡದ ರಿಸಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ.
ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆ, ಕಸಿನೋಸ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ,
ಕಸಿನೋಸ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದು ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ F&B ರೆಸ್ಟೋರೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಮಾಲ್ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಸ್ಲೋಲಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಅಲೈಡ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸಸ್.
ಸೊ ಈ ಥರ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ವೈಡ್ ಏನೇನು ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಲಿ ಅದರದ್ದು ರೆಪ್ಲಿಕಾ ಟು ಸಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿದು ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ ಪಲ್ಸ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಯು ಗೈಸ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್.
Yeah, I think we look at the pulse of what we can do here and what will work for an Indian audience. Like I said, Indian audience is very value conscious. So what will work here, what will work in US will not work here just like that. We need to tailor it to an Indian audience.
So it's always value for money, paisa vasool, and then idu. So iga walk us through the resort of Wonderla. ಎಷ್ಟು rooms ಇದೆ? What's the operations like ಅಲ್ಲಿ?
So the resort we opened in 2011 because we were getting a lot of visitors in Bangalore Park. Bangalore Park ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು consistent ಆಗಿ 10 lakh visitors ಬರ್ತಾರೆ every year for the last so many years.
ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬರೋರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ?
ಅದು ತಮಿಳ್ನಾಡಿಂದ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ನಾರ್ತ್ ಕೇರಳದಿಂದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ದೆನ್ ಅದರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸಿಂದ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗ ಆ ಸೈಡಲ್ಲಿ, ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಇದೆ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವಿ ಗೆಟ್. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನೀಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟೇ because people come from far, they don't know where to stay. So that's how the resort we started.
Also, Bengaluru it can be a getaway, ala.
And also go to Mysore from there. A lot of people come to Wonderla, stay in a resort, and then go to Mysore or Wayanad, that side. So a lot of people do that.
Nice. So this is how the need
so we have 8. Yeah.
came
So
in.
the need came in. So we started with about 84 rooms, and now we are adding another 40 rooms.
Okay.
But now cottage tara rooms add ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ
Oh.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ because we feel people want more premium. They want private pool. They want, people want different things
Like
now.
the Bali style.
Yeah,
Villas.
yeah. So they want villa style rooms. So we're adding that now. Also, conference facilities we are adding more now, because a lot of companies want to do conferences, offsites. We also get some weddings also.
Oh, destination wedding.
Yeah, we get that also.
Oh.
So a lot of those kind of events we get.
ಈ ಸ್ಟೇ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇದೇನು 3 ಸ್ಟಾರ್ 5 ಸ್ಟಾರ್
I think we are at a 4-star level.
What's the average room price for today?
It varies between about 6 to 8,000 rupees plus taxes. So under 10k basically, around 10k.
Usually offer time ಏನು ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಈ ನಾನ್ ಸೀಸನ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಏನೇನು
ನಾನ್ ಸೀಸನ್ even we also have the same.
ಹೌದಾ?
So ನಾನ್ ಸೀಸನ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ತುಂಬ ಆಫರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. get 2 nights. If you buy 2 nights, you get sometimes 1 night free, or sometimes food free, or I don't know, it depends on what is the offer.
ಯೂಶಲಿ ಇದು ಯಾವ ಟೈಮು ರಜಾ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಂತೂ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. ಸಮ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ರೂಲ್ಡ್ ಔಟ್. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಜೂನ್ ಜುಲೈ?
Yeah, June, July, August is the offer time for us for the resort. And also sometimes February, March also
exam time
because demand will be low. So that time also we give offers.
Okay. Now we spoke about pulse of understanding Indian audience.
Correct.
Like how cinema makers ಅಥವಾ ಯಾರು ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ನಾವೇ ಆದ್ರೂ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕೋ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ. ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಅನ್ ಅಮ್ಯೂಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಈಗ ಯಾವ ರೈಡ್ಸು ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಬೇಕು, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗೋದು ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ, ಈ ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗು ಆ ಫೇಸು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ, ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನೇನು ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನ್ಸು ಅದು ಏನೇನು ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ?
Yeah, so we look at customer feedback. ಅದು ತುಂಬ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅದು we try to implement. If we get a lot of requests for thrill rides, then we obviously invest in thrill rides.
You know the pulse.
We get but sometimes people will say, no, we don't want thrill rides. We want more family rides. We want something for small children. So they want something for senior citizens, for example. Then we will do that. So that's how we kind of look at. We also look at the kind of visitors who we get, the age group, the what kind of socio-economic background they have. So based on that, we do an approximate thing that, okay, this is the kind of entertainment they will like. So based on that, we do the investment. And like you said, safety is a very important part of running an amusement park. So we spend a lot of time and effort. More than time, it is effort to manage the park safely.
Can you walk us through the safety regime?
Yeah, so I think there is daily checks on all the rides. Then there is weekly checks. Then there is monthly checks. Then there is also something called a annual shutdown, where the ride is completely shut down. And then you might have seen sometimes if you come to Wonderla, 1 or 2 rides will be not working. The reason for that is we would shut it down for like 1 month. It will be completely disassembled and reassembled to make sure that every part is checked. Because sometimes working time ಅಲ್ಲಿ full check ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ. So sometimes we have to stop the ride and then do the check. So that is one part of it. Then for water rides, obviously water quality maintaining is also very important, especially on busy days when you get ತುಂಬ crowd ಇರ್ತದೆ ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ. Maintaining water, we have to keep.
How often do you change the water?
It's continuously changed, like it's filtered and changed. So we reuse the water, but every day a certain amount of water is added to it. Fresh water is added to it. So in the water in the pool doesn't last very long because people are playing in the pool. Water gets spilled, evaporation losses, all that happens. So I think every day we have to keep adding new water to the system.
In a day, how many thousands of liters you would consume?
I think we consume about 1 lakh liters per day. But this is only 10% of the total water that we use. The 90% is recycled. The 10% is only for drinking water and topping up of the pools and things like that.
This 1 lakh liter is the overall consumption.
Yeah, overall consumption for a day.
For a day. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಈಗ ನೀರಿಂದೇ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರಿಕಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ some women, some are very OCD ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ, but generally who very
that's why I think safety, not just for rides, water safety is also very important for us. So we keep checking like ಇದು what do you call it, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ microbes ಯಾವ್ದು ಇದೆಯಾ, ಇದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು we have special chemicals to make sure that we have to check for that also. So we cannot use too much chemical, so we use more filtration. And there are different types of filtration that we use to make sure that the water becomes clean. Even if it is fresh water. So we use actually 80% of our water is rainwater we collect. So we do a big rainwater harvesting. And we have a big lake there in the property. So all the water from the surrounding areas come there and it becomes a lake. And but that water also we have to clean. Because it's come from, we don't know what is the, what is the source. So that water we clean, but the rainwater which we get from specifically which doesn't fall onto the ground, we collect that separately. And that becomes drinking water. From the roof, some special areas we collect it separately. That becomes drinking water because that's very clean water. So like that there are different methods that we use to make sure that water is clean. And we want to do it in a sustainable manner also. We don't want to keep digging bore wells and use water like that, because that water is hard water. We cannot use that. So we try and use as much as possible rainwater for this.
ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಂಟಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ರೂಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ವಂಡರ್ಲಾದಲ್ಲಿ?
We have used about 45 acres we have used ಮಾಡಿದೆ.
ಇನ್ನು 40
acres ಇದೆ.
ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ನು ಹಂಗೆ ಇದೆ.
ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಲೇಕ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ 4-5 acres ಲೇಕ್ ಇದೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ 4-5 acres we kept for the resort also. So I think we have maybe about 35 acres ಇದೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ.
ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾನ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ how often do you guys sit and think, okay, next 5 years, next 10 years ಹೀಗಿರಬೇಕು ಏನು ಅಂತ ಅಂದರೆ what is the frame that you guys have?
So I think every year we do an analysis to see what else we need to add for each location. So for example, Bangalore last year we felt that the resort was getting full all the time. So that's why we thought we should add more rooms. So like that we do a planning. Now I think our next project for a resort would be in Hyderabad. Because the Hyderabad park is now 8 years old. And there is a same need for the resort there. So we will invest in that. And there we might do a slightly larger resort because we are also close to the airport. Airport is in the 15 minutes ashte. So because of that, we are looking at Hyderabad for a resort. So there, like that, we keep planning based on the need.
Nice.
That's how we do it.
What's the future of the rides? For example, recent agi I'd gone on a solo trip Hong Kong and I went to Disneyland because it was so talked about. Disneyland. I was like,
tell me, what did you think?
Honestly, I don't know, at this age I could see through things, right? It was not a fantasy world for me at this age. But I liked ಆ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕಸ್ಟಮೈಸೇಷನ್, ಆ ಮೆಟ್ರೋ ರೈಲ್ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿ
the handles and all have that Mickey.
ಐ ಟು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ನಂಗೆ ವಾವ್ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು. ಮತ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಲೈಕ್ ಹೌ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾರಿ ಪಾಟರ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ದೇ ಮೇಕ್ ಯು ಫೀಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಯು ಎಂಟರ್ಡ್ ಅ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ that feeling is nice. Starting in they induce that feeling that you are in Disneyland. Entrance alli those massive fountains alli cartoon character themed. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ the land
rides
rides ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ನಂಗೇನು ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಆ್ಯಪ್ ಡ್ರಿವನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಟು ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ದಿ ಆ್ಯಪ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಈಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟಿದೆ. ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ರ್ಯಾಪಿಡ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಟು ಫರ್ದರ್ ಬೈ another pass and ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಓಕೆ ಫಿಗರಿಂಗ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಔಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಆನೆಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಫೆಲ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ದಿವಸಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇತ್ತು ನನ್ನ ಟೈಮು. ಐ ಕುಡಂಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಕವರ್
ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
ಹೌದು.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ each ride ಅಲ್ಲಿ you have to wait for at least 1 hour.
ಹೌದು ಆ್ಯಂಡ್
Even with the pass.
ಬಟ್ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಲಕ್ಕಿ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ ಕೆಲವು ಸತಿ 10-15 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಕೂಟ್ ಆಗೋಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ರಿಯಲಿ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಲೇಸರ್ ಶೋ ದಟ್ ಹೈಪ್ ಏನು 5:30-6 ಗಂಟೆ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದಂಗೆ 8 ಗಂಟೆಗೂ ಎಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೂ 7:30 8 o'clock the show starts. People are all sitting, thousands of people are like watching that massive laser show. So it was quite nice. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದೇ ಐ ಟು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಈ ವಾಫಲ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ವಾಫಲ್ಸ್
ಮಿಕ್ಕಿ ಮೌಸ್
ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ದೇ ನೋ ಹೌ ಟು ಪ್ಲೇ ಆನ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ಸ್ ಎಮೋಷನ್ಸ್
and then they charge also accordingly. It must have been expensive, right?
Yeah, of course. But when you go there,
it's one of the things to do.
You're checking everything. You feel nice, like, oh, I went there, I had the Mickey waffle, I went there, I did this, I did that. And people buying all those bows and then bands and
so it's more of a merchandising thing now. It's become like that, I think. So what we feel for us, what works is more of the experience. Because in India, I think people are waiting in queues everywhere, right? In car ಅಲ್ಲಿ queue ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಬಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಏರ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಕ್ಯೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. I mean, India is full of queues, right? So we want to try and reduce that a little bit.
At least in the amusement park.
ಜಾಸ್ತಿ queue ಇರಬಾರ್ದು. So because of that, I think our focus has been to give more variety and do it in a, like I said, more value, this thing. People are not going to spend too much money on this because you also have to remember the people who come to us, they may never go to a Disneyland. Most of the people, very small, a lot of people don't go abroad, right? Only 4 or 5% of India's population, even today, have traveled abroad. Not more than that. So if you think about it, a lot of people who they may never be able to go abroad. So we would like to bring our concept to people who a world-class concept at a good price, kind of a thing. So that has been our focus.
So you next to laser show, musical fountain.
We all have that, but we now removed that and we are putting this new that Mission Interstellar right there at the same location because we felt that our laser show now it is already 20 years old. People have seen the laser show and everything. So we're going to the next kind of entertainment.
Thanks for giving me that line. When do you scrap a ride? For example, scrap agirbodu or when do you retire a ride?
Couple of reasons. One is could be the life of the ride is over. So every ride has a fixed life irutte for every ride. It can vary. Like for example, water slides ge 15 years irutte life, 15 to 20 years. Big amusement park ride ge 25-30 years life irutte. Sometimes it can be bigger than that also. It depends on it. But for example, our laser show, we felt people are not watching it anymore because they are already seen it. So they wanted something new there. So if we feel that people are not enjoying something, then also we will scrap the attraction.
Hage. Financial planning for such massive projects. Walk us through.
So like I said, when we think about building a park, first of all, we need to look at what is the kind of demand that we are going to see.
In the next how many years?
The next 15 years.
At least our horizon nodtira.
So we need to plan for that. And so for example, Cochin or Bangalore Park also, first year we got 5 lakh visitors. Then it became 7 lakh visitors. Then it became 10 lakh visitors. Now it is 13-14 lakh visitors. And that is, I think, a good number for our size. Same thing with Kochi or same thing with Hyderabad. So like now the latest park is we opened in Bhubaneswar. But that's a smaller park. It's like our old Kochi park. So because we feel that that's a tier 2 city. It's still yet to grow, the city. So based on that, then we'll plan, okay, there we cannot invest like how we invest in Bangalore. We'll do something more frugal, in keeping with what people like there. Also, we look at weather conditions. There is hot. So we need to have more covered areas, things like that. Or if you're going to do north, we have to worry about winter, cold. So we can't do too many water rides because it's too cold for people. So things like that. We have so many things that we look at. It's not just one thing. All these factors have a bearing on the investment also. How much we will invest. Everything is interconnected. So finally we come up with a plan. Okay, this is how we think a Wonderla park should be for this city. And then we will look at the numbers, see how long it will take for it to break even.
ಯೂಶಲಿ ಹೌ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಡಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಈವನ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್? ಈಗ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಅಂತ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟು.
Bangalore park, it took us about 5 years to break even. So I think most of our parks will take about 3 to 5 years to
Wow.
break even. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable sharing about the profit margins and all of that?
Yeah, no, we are company is listed company, so we can share. So now our profit margin is roughly about 50%.
Oh, wow.
EBITDA margin is 50%. Because also we have older assets.
ಹೌದು.
The park is already 20 years before we have invested. So because of that, the margins can be high. But building a new park of that same standard will be much more expensive. So for example, in Bangalore, we have invested about 200 to 220 crores till now. But to build that today will cost me 600 to 700 crores.
Absolutely.
So
Inflation,
that is the way it is. Yeah.
Wake up to fresh ideas. Repose.
So walk us through the profit management and the asset management since it's a limited company.
Profit management, of course, we have a big, what do you call it? We have a big finance team. We have a CFO who handles all that. But I think we also look at what kind of, this business can be very fluctuating also. Like, for example, heat wave means less people. Floods means people will not come out, or any those kind of issues. So because of that, I think we need to make sure that even for a bad year, we should be able to survive.
For example,
COVID 2 years, we didn't have any business.
ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅವಾಗ?
So we were shut for 2 years, but we still paid salary for our staff. We couldn't pay full salary, we paid half salary. But once they started, when the parks were open, we started paying full salary. So, like I said, we want to be seen as a good employer also, because good employees make the park for us. Because the safety of the guest, everything is in their hands, right? So even though I'm the boss, I'm not actually doing the maintenance, or the other people are doing it. So I think it's important to have a very good team. So maintaining that also takes a lot of effort. So we look at all those things, salaries, salary hikes, and then look at what is the profit that we should make, so that we can maintain and now we can also grow.
So ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಹೈಕ್ಸ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
Yeah.
And now I will dig into how the employees are benefiting from a group like this.
Yeah.
So firstly, but today per park 1,000 andrunu
1,000 employees per park.
have close to 3,500 to 4,000 employees irboda?
Yeah, we have now 4 parks, about close to 3,000 employees.
3K
because our new park has only 450 employees. So
wow. So ellargu ena uniform irata Wonderla?
They have uniform. They also have lot of them have accommodation, especially people who want. Some people have accommodation.
Park alle they have quarters.
Yeah. We have quarters. Then we have insurance also for all employees. So those kind of things, and then salaries are pretty. We'll always pay above average, above market.
Can you walk us through bare minimum? ಈಗ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ನಾನು ರೀಸೆಂಟಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಿಟ್ಜರ್ಲೆಂಡ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆ ಥರ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಫಾರ್ ಮನಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಫಾರ್ ಟೈಮ್. ನಾನು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನಾನು RJ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಫೌಂಡರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಆರ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಇಷ್ಟು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 25 francs, 1 franc is 100 rupees, so 2,500 is a minimum.
But then a coffee there is also 3 francs.
Yes.
So that 25 francs doesn't last very long.
You earn and you burn also.
You burn it.
But illy I think it is a different ball
here
game.
you can buy a coffee for 20 rupees even now. Not even 20. You can get for 10 rupees also you can get. So for us I think minimum salary is about 16,000 rupees for bare minimum.
Minimum. Entry level andre
that is like for a cleaner or something like that. That was the first year, but most of them have been working with us for many years, so their salary will be much higher. They will be between 20. The bare minimum will be around 20k, something like that.
Nice. So the highest salaries would go
highest salary would be can be a couple of crores, depending on the CEO,
Seniority,
CFO
CEO.
position. So this is a big band of salaries.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರೀಲಾನ್ಸರ್ಸು ಇದ್ದಾರಾ ಅಥವಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಏನಾ?
We have some freelancers, but mostly employees. We have contract employees and we have direct employees. About 30 to 40% of our employees are direct employees. The remaining are contract employees. Because, for example, ನಂತರ ಇದು ಕ್ಲೀನಿಂಗ್ ಹೌಸ್ಕೀಪಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದು ಸಮ್ ಸೆಮಿ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಡ್ ಲೇಬರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಕ್ಲೀನಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ಇದು ಪೂಲ್ ಕ್ಲೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆ ಥರ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ ದ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್.
ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ ಟು ಅ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವಂಡರ್ಲಾ? ಅಂದರೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಡೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಟಪ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ಸಾ ಅಥವಾ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ?
I think there are a lot of challenges. Running a park like Wonderla is like running a city. So because we have people who come in every day, then we could have law and order issues. We could have some, like you said, don't know, some people might fall sick because they do some of the rides. They're not able to enjoy. They're not physically strong, and they could have some health issues. So we have a health, like a full first aid. We have a doctor in every park. We have ambulance. Not hospital, I would say first aid center. Like people can fall and hurt themselves. Those kind of things. So that is one challenge. Then managing different stakeholders like government and different government agencies we work with. So that is also a challenge. Then, like I said, we are in the business of making memories for people. So that also is changing, right? What people used to do 20 years ago is as fun thing to do is different from today. So today people want more things. They want roller coasters, bigger, faster. Like you said, they want to do fountain. They want to do bigger roller coasters. What is the tallest, fastest? Those kind of things. So that also is challenge. We have to find those kind of attractions. And also now people want to do more VR and metaverse tara rides alla irbeku. So that is more expensive also. Content, we have to make content for those rides. So our latest ride that we just opened in Hyderabad is called Hyperverse. So it's a ride wherein you are covered by screen on all 360 sides.
Oh.
So wherever you look is a screen. All this is a screen.
And very high. Team lab.
Yes.
Okay.
Something like that. But yeah, it's so you don't feel like you're inside the movie.
Correct. You're like in a space wherein everything around you.
Yeah.
There is all the sides are covered. So literally you're like, correct.
So then sometimes some rides we have movement also. With the way you're not standing, you're sitting on a ride and moving with it. So it's blurring the lines between reality and kind of metaverse, if you want to call it that. So we are working on those kind of rides now. So that's very exciting.
Social media ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡೇಷನ್, ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಈಸ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಫೋಟೋಸ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಇವಾಗ ರೀಲ್ಸು ಎಲ್ಲ. ಹೌ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ಡ್ ದ ಗೇಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಆಲ್? ಎಲ್ಲ ರೈಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಈಗ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೆಲವುದಕ್ಕಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಮೊದಲೇ.
We have GoPros on all the big rides. And people like to post from Wonderla. You will see lots every day. I think we get thousands of new posts and reels.
They're only doing their influences for you.
They do it because they like it, and they also want to share, no? Like if you want to go for, let's say I went with 10 of my best friends to Wonderla, for example. Obviously they will do, they'll do one dance, they'll do their thing, and so it's nice for us in that way. But it's also got a flip side that if our quality is not good, if our standards are not good, that also can be that also will come on social media, right? It's positive and negative. So it's very important for us to maintain the quality and of what we do, I would say.
What's like a discussion, like ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಡೇ ವಿತ್ ಯುವರ್ ಡ್ಯಾಡ್, ಲೈಕ್ ನೀವೇನಾದ್ರು ಈ ಸರ್ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಚೆಕ್ಸು ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಹೇಳ್ದೆ ಸಡನ್ನಾಗಿ ನುಗ್ಬಿಡೋದು ಈ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ಗೆ?
So my dad, now he's kind of semi-retired. So the discussion I have with him is always about what do we do next? What next? Where do we go from here? And, always looking into the future more than the past. Those are the kind of discussions that I have with my dad. It could be also an organization, like a lot of our staff are also senior. Some of them will retire, so we have to get, and we are growing as a business. We're going to more locations. So the business is also getting more complex in a way. Managing 3-4 parks is very different from managing just one park. So the problems are also multiplying. And so So those kind of discussions I have. And then what else can we do? Like you asked me before. Are you going to do a resort? Are you going to do multiplex? Are you going to do what are you going to do next? So those kind of discussions is what I usually have.
So what are your learnings? ಈಗ 4 ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ and you have so many more. ಅದೇನೋ ಅಂತಾರಲ್ಲ ಈಗ I don't know, it could be a stupid metaphor. The first dog is always like, wow, that's my first ಅಂತ.
Yeah.
I have 4 dogs. After second,
You have 4 dogs?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have 2 retrievers and 2 indi. After the second, I think I just lost the plot. They are only doing their own thing. ಅಂತಾರ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಒಂದು ಮೆಟಫಾರ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ 4th ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಬೈ ನೌ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೆಂಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಟೇಕನ್ ಕೇರ್ ಆಫ್. ಬಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು you continue focused staying in the journey?
I think you cannot be complacent in this business or any business actually. I think because times change, you will have new challenges. Like COVID, who thought COVID will be a challenge? Nobody could foresee that challenge, right? Yep. So I think you need to always be nimble and ready for change, adapt to change. Social media is also a big disruptor, right? So I think you should be nimble enough to be you should be agile as a business to keep changing. So that is, I think, the constant endeavor for us. Always looking at what is the future trends. What do people really want to do? What is, in a way, we are in the being seen at a cool place kind of business, right? Like I said, friends come to celebrate birthday. So what else is cool? What is the next cool thing So we're always searching for new experiences, new ways to thrill and scare people. Like I keep saying.
While the bigger giants like Elon Musk and these guys are busy, finding homes at a place in Mars. And here are you guys trying to create a different reality
for people
on earth
so that they can forget about their daily
mundane,
the grind
their worries and all of that. ಈ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಪದ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸಿದ್ರಿ, ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಕೂಲ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಹೂ ಆರ್ ದೀಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಆರ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಚರ್ಸ್ ಸಿಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಗೈಸ್?
It could be anywhere. Like I could see it maybe if I go to a trip to Bali, I'll see what people are doing there.
One is your company
but everyone, every entire top management, I think we tell people to figure out what is happening, what are young people doing now, because what we also see is majority of our visitors are young people, kids, and up to 34 is our maximum. After 34 people don't come to our amusement park. So our biggest age group for us is maybe like 10 to 25, let's say. So what are these age group people doing? And that keeps changing, right? So that is, I think, our constant challenge. Challenge ತರ ಇದೆ ಅದು.
So millennials ಆಯ್ತು, Gen
Z now Gen Alpha ಆಯ್ತು.
ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಈಗ ಈ ಪದಗಳೇ ಸಡನ್ಲಿ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. I think today slowly Alpha is
they want more sustainable thing. They are also I think more conscious about how they spend time. They are more lonely people, I think, Gen Alpha, because of the technology,
social media.
Yeah, you don't need to go out and do anything anymore, right? You don't need to cook, you don't need to go out, you don't need to learn how to ride a bike or everything is on an app now.
And I think they're not the owning types. They are like renting experiences and they'll use and then probably they'll go ahead and say from a time wherein people like us like in 40s alla iroge, they'll be like being arrived is like buying something, having your own house and all of that. I think ivattella disrupt.
I think it's a very different but I think same value still, people still want to have a good time. People want to feel connected to other people who they care about.
The root is same, but adanna
manifestation is different. I think
maybe for us doing something was probably materialistic pleasures. For them probably it's all experiences. Do you think they are very serious about purpose in life? I don't think so. So I'm asking.
They're young, no? The young kids. When did you have purpose in life when you were young?
But at least in my 20s I at least had that fire in me saying that kuch to
ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು
ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಈಗ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಂಗೆ ಕೆಲವು ಸತಿ ಆ ಫೈರ್.
I think there is a level of complacency. There's also too much information on what's happening, right? Everybody knows everything about everybody. If you want to know what Shah Rukh Khan is doing, it's there on your phone. which we never had.
Hmm.
Right? We didn't know so much about what other people are doing. Now we get to see what everybody else is doing. So I think it can reduce your drive a little bit. I think it can, but but humanity as a species will always try to keep doing new things, is what I think. I don't think it's going to stop.
ಈ ರೈಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಾಗ ಟುಡೇ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥ್ರಿಲ್ ರೈಡ್ಸ್?
So we import most of our rides from European countries, Italy, Germany, Switzerland, Netherlands. These are they are also known for cars, Swiss watches, and So I think any country which has that manufacturing kind of expertise,
ಸರಿ,
we buy from them. But we also build our own rides.
ಅದೆಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ?
Some of the rides, like for example, our giant wheel or some of our even the metaverse, the hyperverse ride. Some of those things we make ourselves because we feel that is also something that we like to do. Create our own new types of rides which are not there. Like I said, that's a constant theme for Wonderla. We want to do rides which are not available in other parks. So because that is our focus, we do try and build some of the rides for ourselves. Also to keep the costs and maintenance down. Because when we design and build a ride, we also know how to maintain it better.
You don't have to rely
Instead of
on
relying on a foreign partner. So that advantage is also there. So these are the things that we do in terms of ride design and buying rides.
What's the craziest thing that you've done in this journey?
There are different types of crazy things I've done.
You can help us understand what your layers are.
So I get to do all the biggest, baddest rides. I've done the tallest bungee jump, biggest roller coaster. You name the roller coaster, I've done it.
So you have to sample it first.
I have to sample it.
Then you are like, okay, fine.
Yeah, so I like that. So that I've done. But the other crazier thing is also setting up a park and investing so much money. Like I said, for me, I'm somebody who was forced to take a 50 crore loan when I was 25 years old. So that is also big risk, no? Like when you're 25 years old and
double your age,
you have to
yeah.
pay back such a big amount. So then it also forces you to think about the business, how it should create returns for people. Because if it doesn't returns irlandre, I mean, then everything is gone. It can go, right? So I think that financial discipline is also a crazy it's a crazy lesson that I've had to learn in a way.
Explain.
I mean,
what is your savings?
So I think when we started our park in Bangalore, I think we were very optimistic and we spent a lot of money building the park. But we didn't. First 3-4 years we struggled actually to get visitors. It took some time for it to start generating. So obviously then banks will start calling you saying our loan you're not paying, all those things. So then that is also stress, right? I mean, that's a big commitment. Then I think you kind of figure out how to you figure out new ways, I think, to make your business work, I think. And I think that has been one of the crazy learnings for me, especially in Bangalore, I think, for us.
How did you get more people? Like
marketing, we had to keep changing, innovating on marketing. Those days, I think malls were just coming in, like Forum and all had just started. So we used to do a lot of promotions, which we didn't have to do in Kerala. Kerala was different because my dad was a well-known person. Like even without too much effort, like anything he did used to come on the front page of newspapers, everything. Here we didn't have that privilege. We had to literally start from scratch. So we had to build our reputation over a period of time. So I think it's a different journey. And we have to do that every time we go to a new place.
How do?
So like
it's nice, Allah?
Yeah, it's nice. It's challenging for sure.
Purpose adu is like you make a new break. Andre one city admele.
Because again you are zero in a new place.
Yeah.
Right? So
I have one question. Stress and risk antalla, usually risk ಹೆಚ್ಚಿದಾಗ, stress ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಾಗ, your clarity usually gets blurred. Like natural calm ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗ you might see 100 ways opening up. ಈ ಥರ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಹೌ ಡು ಯು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್, ಹೌ ಡು ಯು?
So I told you that I meditate every day. This is something that I learned is it's very important to kind of see that stress makes you
Doesn't eat you up.
yeah, and it makes you, I think if you're too stressed, you make wrong decisions always, right? If you're upset, you say things that you shouldn't say.
Then you'll regret.
You will regret. So same thing happens when you're stressed. So I think it's important to kind of navigate your own mind a little bit. I would say for any business. So if you read about Elon Musk or you read about Steve Jobs or any Narayan Murthy or anybody, they've all gone through this crazy ups and downs in life. I think forces you to think a little, in a calm manner and say, okay, in a way you can't be emotional about your business. I think it has to be a very rational, thought through decisions. So that
How do you keep that eye away? Like usually something which is started as a family run, eventually it is private limited and then IPOs ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಾಗ it's your baby ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಸತಿ ಒಂದು ಈಗೋ ಇರತ್ತಲ್ಲ, dude, I have done it, I know this. But at the same time you have to take people along and then grow.
Yeah.
And ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ಬೇಕದು we are also part of this big game ಅಂತ.
Yeah. I think it's I think people need to feel inclusive, otherwise they will not work for you. I think people need to feel included in your decision making.
How do you make that happen?
I think it's a culture for us. I've always tried to practice that, and I don't take all the decisions in my company. There are other people who take decisions. Delegation, again, it's a very important skill that you need to learn as your business grows. If you think that you can do everything better than other people, then you're wrong. I mean, you can't build a business like that. That's what I've learned, at least. My dad has also taught me the same thing. He also takes that very delegated approach to running a business. Collective decision making is important.
100 ಜನ ಸೇರಿ ಅಡುಗೆ ಆದಾಗ ಈ ತರ ವಿಚಾರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, so that you also,
not for everything collective doesn't work also,
of course,
but there are decisions where collective also works. So I think you need to have that balance.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಎಲ್ಲರದು, at least to see what is the point that they're trying to break.
Yeah.
Then you pick what makes sense. It's a mix of everything. Okay. ತುಂಬಾ entrepreneurs startup culture ಇವತ್ತು ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ they are watching you, they're watching us. Word of advice, pearls of wisdom coming in from you?
Pearls of wisdom. I think you have to be strong and resilient, I think. If you think that you will do something, even a startup, I think if you think that you invest X amount of money and then you will think, oh, by 5th year I will do this. It may not, usually it will not play like that. So you need to temper your expectations and be willing to work for the long haul, I think. Most businesses, people don't realize that you want the business to last and outlast you in a way, right? Or it should be something that lasts for a long time. Then you need to look at it, everything from a long-term perspective, which I think sometimes is lacking in today's. Everybody wants to make a quick high valuation and then sell the company. I don't know whether that's the right attitude. If you want to really create value, it has to be with a long-term vision, is what I think. So I think that is one thing I would definitely recommend for people to think about. Not just chase valuation and like exit and all those things. But at the same time, also be... I don't know whether you've read Malcolm Gladwell books about... you need to do something for 10,000 hours to be a master of it. Anything. If you want to be a best guitar player, you need to do it for 10,000 hours. It's a long time. So you should, if you want to build a business in any field, you also have to spend that 10,000 hours trying to learn whatever you're trying to do. That's important. Just say that just because my friend is starting a gym, I can't just go and start a gym business, for example. So I think that's the other thing that I would like to tell people. Spend your 10,000 hours trying to understand every facet of what you're trying to do.
Very well said. I had one question here, because every business has a case study. Successful businesses. For example, I just wanted to walk you through Bluestone jewelry brand. ನಾನು ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋದಾಗ, ಈಗ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಸ್, ರೈಟ್, ಹೋದಾಗ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಶಾಪಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಡೂ, ಐ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಡಿಗ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಲರ್ನ್, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಆನ್. ಸೊ ಹೀಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಐ ಗಾಟ್ ಟು ನೋ ಟುಡೇ ಬ್ಲೂ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ 200+ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಸ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ 4 ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್, ಜೈಪುರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಬಾಂಬೆನಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ನೀವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೊಸ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ಸನ್ನು ಹುಟ್ಟಾಕ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಏರಿಯಾ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ ಅಪ್ ವಿತ್ 10 ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ದೇ ಥಿಂಕ್
that it will do well.
That for expansion ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ಯೂ ಮೋರ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ 10 ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಂತವ್ರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಥ ಏರಿಯಾ ಅಂದರೆ ವೇರ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಜೆನ್ಜಿ ಕ್ರೌಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ IT ಕ್ರೌಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಾರೋ, ಅಂದರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪೋಸಬಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಜೆನ್ಜೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಯೂಶಲಿ ದೇ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಅಂತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ಆಸ್ ದೆಮ್ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಏಜ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್, ದೇ ಸೈಡ್ 18 to 50 ಬರೋರು. ಆವ್ರೇಜ್ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಇಸ್ 48,000. ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ 72%. ಒಳಗೆ ಸ್ಟೋರಿಗೆ ಬಂದರೆ 72% ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್
They'll buy something.
they'll buy something and go. Profit margin is in diamond, not in gold.
Gold will be thin margin. Diamond, I think more than half is profit.
Exactly. Unfortunately, I don't know. South ಅಲ್ಲಿ usually diamond. Okay. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಡ್ರಿವನ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಡ್ರಿವನ್ ಪೀಪಲ್.
But I feel like even gold also, I think obviously gold jeweler, I've not seen too many jewelers going bankrupt, so I'm sure there is good margin there also.
Yeah. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದು now comes the best part. ಸೊ ಐ ಆಸ್ಡ್ ಹಿಮ್, ಏನಿದು ನಿಮ್ಮದು ರೆಂಟು ಆಪ್ರೇಷನ್ಸು ವರ್ಸಸ್ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿತೀರಾ? ಹಿ ಸೆಡ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಪ್ರೇಷನ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದರದ್ದು 10x ರೆವಿನ್ಯೂ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆ ಸ್ಟೋರಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಅಂತ.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ IPO ದೇ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಫೆಬ್. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಟುಡೇ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ಮು, ಪ್ಯಾಸಿವ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ಮು, ಆಂಟ್ರಪ್ರಿನರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂತ ನೋಡೋರಿಗೆ ವಂಡರ್ಲಾ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಸು ಅಥವಾ ಫ್ರಾಂಚೈಸಿ ಮಾಡೆಲ್, ಐ ನೋ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಟೂ ಬಿಗ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಅ ಫ್ರಾಂಚೈಸಿ.
This is see, my business is not something that we can do a franchisee that easily because of all the things I just said to you. There are too many moving parts. It's not like a store where I can 3,000 square feet and then or 5,000 square feet. This is 80 acres. It's like you have to build everything. To build only it will take 3-4 years. Then it's a long gestation kind of business. Like I told you, it's like building a city. You cannot build a city through a franchisee model. I don't think anybody.
Absolutely.
Also safety, all those things you cannot outsource.
ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರಿಗೆ ಧಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಬಹುದಾ ಅನ್ನೋ ಭಯ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
No, but I think going forward we will look at that model. But I think we will still have a lot of skin in the game. It won't be a pure franchisee model. It will be something where it will be like a JV, something like that is possible for our business.
Can you give us the full form for whatever?
Sorry, the joint ventures. So wherein somebody brings in the real estate part of it, and we bring in all the know-how and technology and design and the rides and all that. So it can be a joint venture like that. But I think going forward, once we have maybe say 10 parks and we have already a certain size, then I think we can go to other countries also. It's possible. And I feel in India itself, there are so many cities which don't have good amusement parks or good parks also. Very park cities only. So forget amusement parks. So I think there is a lot of opportunities in India itself where we can do this, I feel. But because it's a long gestation business, it takes time. So I think that is the constraint that we have in terms of, it's not like a jewelry store where I can just build the thing.
Model is very different.
So hangagi model is different.
ಈ ಥರ JV ಆದರೂ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ನೀವು ಇಡೀ ಇಂಡಿಯಾನೇ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಹೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಈಗ ವಂಡರ್ಲಾ ಎಷ್ಟು
I feel in India we can do maybe 20 cities ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು.
20 ಅಂತ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇದೆ.
20-25 cities ಇದೆ.
ಇದಿಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 10
ವರ್ಷ ಟೈಮ್ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊ.
ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಓವರ್ಸೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬೇರೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ.
Yeah, I mean it's not something that we can do quickly in this business because of the sheer nature of work that is involved in building something.
And also maintaining the existing one.
And maintaining the existing one and changing it and upgrading it and all those things. So I think it is if you look globally also, Walt Disney started Disneyland in 1955.
Correct.
How many Disneylands are there?
Hardly. Andre
5. That's it.
US, Hong Kong,
then Paris, Japan, Shanghai.
Yep.
That's it. Or 6, I think. So it's not something that we can even for a Western. See, I feel like an amusement park is a Western invention.
ಹೌದು.
It's a Western. We have adopted it, like a lot of Western things. India also has adopted it, but we are doing it we are trying to do it in a more efficient, value-conscious way. So we can expand faster. Like for example, for us to build a park, it takes 2 years. To build up Disneyland, it will take 5-6 years. Minimum, and much more investment. When we are saying for Bangalore we spend 400-500 crores in today's money to build a Disneyland, you need $2 billion.
Oh God.
So that is a difference in investment. So I think the philosophy is slightly different in that sense. So we can expand faster, but not as fast as like opening 200 stores in 5 years. Not like that. Yeah.
ವಿತ್ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಡನ್ ಟುಡೇ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಪ್ಪ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೀವಿಬ್ರು ಸೇರಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಏನು ಒಂದು ಎಂಪೈರ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಐ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಕ್ಲೀಶೇಡ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಟು ಯು?
To me, success is the ability to do what you want to do at any point in your life. That at a very personal level, for me, that is success. So I think entrepreneurship gives you that ability to do what you want to do with your time. Because if you are in a 9-to-5 job, then your time is constrained. But when you are an entrepreneur, obviously you'll be spending a lot of time thinking about what ಇನ್ನೇನು ಮಾಡೋಣ, what next. But it also gives you freedom to do lot more things. And of course, financial gain also is there. So many things that I think. But for me, success is it's about time, I feel.
When you can control the time the way you want.
Yeah.
Okay. ಒಂದು ಬಂತು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. Once you guys have the advantage of money sitting by you, ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ದ ಟಾಟಾಸ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಅಂಬಾನೀಸ್, they keep investing in different sectors and they try to acquire the market in different sectors. So Wonderla ಈಗ ಅಮ್ಯೂಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಹೋಟೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ರೆಸಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು.
Like I said, we want to expand into businesses which are allied to this universe. For now, because I think, like I said, it's an underserved market. We are only 4 cities. So I think this itself is going to take time in India.
You don't want to start any supermarket chain or sudden apparel.
No. I want to be focused on what we are doing, because I feel that if you get too sidetracked, that's also a problem especially for our industry.
It's nice.
I think that focus is important. That's what I feel.
ಈ ಮಧ್ಯ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಅಮ್ಯೂಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ non-government ಒಂದು ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ರೋಲ್ ಏನು ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಟುಡೇ? ಅಂಡ್
so in India, that role is it's not that big, because there are, like I said, this is still an evolving business. It's an evolving industry in India. So I think right now it is a bunch of mostly suppliers who are small suppliers or who are agents of other companies based abroad who are working in the association. I would like to see a time where park owners, like us and other park owners, run the thing, because that is what is creating value for India. That creates more value for India. Or maybe manufacturing also. If there's somebody is doing manufacturing of rides and able to sell to other countries, that I think will have a huge impact on job creation. It'll have a huge impact on the reputation of the country also. We are still still nascent in a way. But also I think they're doing some good things also, like for example safety standards irbodu, government interface irbodu, they are doing a good job there, trying to see, okay, what are the safety standards that we need to bring into so that any small park also, if they don't follow safety standards, it's a bad name for the entire industry. It's not enough that my parks are safe. It is also important that every park in India is safe.
Yeah. Because one hit adre ellardu fear hanga habbadu.
So I think that awareness, I think IIP can play a role to make sure that safety, hygiene, those kind of things can improve.
So manufacturing, you guys said ನಿಮ್ಮ rides ಕೆಲವು ನೀವೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Do you guys also do that for others, like freelance?
Right now we don't do for others because our own needs are high.
Time
because we are doing new parks, we are doing new projects, so our time is busy with.
Can that
just-
also be a business idea for
It
you?
could be. It could become like that. So I do spend a lot of time trying to see what other, and also I feel like the Western civilization now, I think most of the countries have declining populations.
Right.
Right.
ವಯಸ್ಸಾಗ್ತಾ
Whether it is Europe or US, they're all
ಅಲ್ಲೂ
struggling
ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆ. Yep.
for
Even
population.
Japan also.
Japan is also, in a way, kind of declining civilization, which is sad. But I think it gives an opportunity for India to also do something in this industry and become an exporter or an innovator also. It's possible.
One thing I missed, celebrities visiting Wonderla. What are your favorite moments? Like who all have come?
Well, we get a lot of movie stars, politicians, all kinds of entrepreneurs, different now influencers, and all kinds of people, celebrities come to
Bollywood
us.
ಯಾರು ಬಂದಿಯಾರಾ? Hollywood ಯಾರು ಬಂದಿಯಾರಾ?
Not Hollywood we've not had, but Bollywood and all the other woods.
Yeah, all
We've
the other
got-
any few names that you would like to?
Like here, Apu used to come to the park with his family in
Oh, yeah?
Bangalore for many years.
Oh, nice.
And Sudeep and Upendra, his family comes many times to our park. In Kerala, we get the Mohanlals, Mammootties, they've all come. We also got some in Hyderabad. We got all the Nagarjunas and the Nag
Yeah?
Chaitanyas and
Okay.
everyone have come to us. So that we do get a lot of
So when
film
they
stars.
come, ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಅಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನ್ಸ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅದು, ಅಥವಾ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಸೆಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಟೈಮ್ ಇರತ್ತಾ?
Depends on the star. Like some stars, when they come with their own security and everything, and they try to do it in a way where other people are not seen too much.
Oh.
But some stars, they don't care. They like to be with the people, and so I think everybody is different.
ಬಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅವತ್ತಿನ ದಿವಸ ದ ಹೋಲ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್, ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗಲ್ಲ.
No. We can't do that because too many people are already there, and it's difficult for us to shut something. Unless there is like a movie shoot, that also happens sometimes. Movie shoots, ella irutte, the Sandalwood agire, ali Tollywood, all movies. There's a lot
the
of.
biggest film shot there so far.
I don't know I'm not very good with the names. So I think we've got some big Telugu movies have come to our Hyderabad park. Here also we've got a few good Kannada movies which have come to us. Malayalam movies also. I mean, wherever we have the park, we've had their local language movies come to us.
So nice. I guess we've discussed about most of the things. Now comes the last thing. That's my favorite part of the question. ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಜಾಗದಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋರು. ಅಂದರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗಿರಲಿ, ದ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಮನೀಸ್ ದಟ್ ದೇವ್ ಸೀನ್, ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸಸ್ ದೇವ್ ಸೀನ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಥ್ರೂ ವಿಚ್ ದ ಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್ ದಟ್ you've seen, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ದೇವರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಜಾಗ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಸ್ ಅ ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್. ಹೌ ಡು ಯು ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಗಾಡ್?
So my dad is a proclaimed atheist for many years, and so I was raised as a Christian till about 10th standard. Then after that, my dad one day said, I don't believe in God and all that. So obviously I've also grown up with this kind of mindset, questioning everything.
Sorry.
So I'm not somebody who believes in the classical religions of Christianity or Hinduism, but I think a lot of them have good things that we can imbibe. Especially I think Indian culture is one of the oldest civilizations because of our beliefs also. I think it's an all-inclusive kind of Hinduism as a culture, I think is a very profound culture. Some religions are saying that only our God is real, other gods are not real, but Hinduism is not like that. It says
it's a way of life.
It's a way, everything works. So I think that appeals to me. Do I believe there is a God? I think there is life force, right? There is life inside us. We are 80% water. Every living thing is 80% water, but there's also something which we don't know yet. Now, do you call that God, or do you call that
Energy.
life, energy, or life force. I don't know. But I feel like that is not to be confused with religion and what we have.
Never mix that. Yep.
Yeah, so that's what I feel. But of course, we have our own traditions, and every culture has its own religious beliefs and things. So it's hard for me to say. I would not say one is right and the other is wrong. I think everybody has some parts right, lot of things wrong, is what I
Have you
think.
ever given in? Because itara, ಈಗ ನಾನು my mom was a Brahmin. So obviously ನಾನು ಆ ಒಂದು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೆ initially like a phone comes as a normal phone, all the apps, software is what you
Added.
put in. ಅದೇ ಥರ we will also gather and we will to some extent one voice ಬರೋವರೆಗೂ we blindly believe. Then you start questioning.
Then you remove the apps slowly.
Then you remove whatever you don't want, whatever doesn't fit in your
Yeah.
belief system. So ಹಾಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಿಲೀಫ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಈಗ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೇನು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ಎವರ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಯು ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಯು ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಫೆನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಟ್ಟರ್?
I'm not a fence sitter. I think I participate in everything, but I'm not a religion. I would say I don't follow any religion.
You don't
I'm
want to be
more of an
Muslim.
inquisitive person. I try to read more about it because I think science has a lot of answers. But science is still trying to unravel or unveil a lot of things about life. We still don't know so many things. Like why does the universe exist, or why is life there only in Earth, like on this one small planet of this small solar system in a very insignificant galaxy of the universe. So it's a very, very profound questions, but I don't think we spend enough time as human beings thinking about it. But there are people who are doing a lot of work. I think Elon Musk is trying to answer the same question by going to other planets and start colonies. And so he's also, I think people are trying to answer the question in different ways. But I think we are still figuring it out, is what I think.
Luck.
Yeah, luck is, we are all alive because of luck, right? In a way, luck plays a role in life, I think. But then there is also, luck is also, you can also say luck is where opportunity meets preparation. So in some contexts, luck, you kind of attract luck into your life also. You could say it like
ಒಂದು
that.
ಕಾಲದವರೆಗೂ ಐ ಬಿಲೀವ್ ದ ಹಾರ್ಡರ್ ಐ ವರ್ಕ್ ದ ಲಕಿಯರ್ ಐ ಗೆಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಐ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್, ಈಗ ಯಾರು ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ?
Yeah.
So many people are hard working.
So many people who work harder than you.
ಕೆಲವು ಸತಿ they don't get the attention that they think they would have.
The movie industry is a good example of that.
Ah.
How many of them become big stars?
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ
It's
ಅವ್ರದ್ದೇ
luck
ಹಾರ್ಡ್
only.
ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ.
You have to-
ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್.
We don't understand.
ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೇ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ಫುಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಯು
Yes,
ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಂತ
that's what I think.
ಇರೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಖುಷಿ ಪಟ್ಟು ಅಮೇಝಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್ ವಿತ್ ಯು ಅಬೌಟ್ ಯುವರ್
Very nice talking to you, and I really enjoyed this conversation. Although I didn't really speak too much Kannada. Sorry about that. My Kannada is very broken. But I can understand.
ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೇನು ಬರೋದು? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೇ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ತಲುಪಬೇಕು. ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಫ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ, ಬಟ್ ಕೆಲವು ಸತಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಗಲಿಂಗ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಫ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್,
I'm able to understand perfectly, but my vocabulary is very limited. Let's just say that.
No worries. So I'm sure Bangalore Wonderla team they have also helped you.
Yes.
And that's a constant process. And board member Wonderla de obru board member Ullas Kamath sir ಬಂದಿದ್ರು.
Ullas sir, yeah.
Board members ಈ ಥರ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿತ್ವಗಳಿಂದ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ಸ್.
Yeah.
Who do you look up to? What do you learn from people who have done something, achieved in their own way?
I try to learn from a lot of successful people. I want to hear about how somebody else thinks. So Ullas, I'm very lucky to be, associated with Ullas and people. And my dad, I'm very lucky. I feel like, to be born into a family where my dad is like a top entrepreneur, and then so I get to learn from him.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is also a very big strong personality and an entrepreneur. So I learned from her. My brother is also an entrepreneur. We are a family of entrepreneurs.
You're all into...
We all have different businesses.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so my brother runs V-Guard Industries, which is actually my dad's original business, which is also a listed bigger business. My mom runs a company called V-Star, which is like a garment manufacturing business, mostly based out of Kerala right now.
What is this power of we, dude?
Yeah, the V and the W, the power of V, right? So my dad has another business which is in construction and real estate. He's also big into philanthropy, and he's donated one of his kidneys to a needy person
Oh,
because to start a chain reaction of kidney donations.
wow.
So he wanted to do it like that. So my dad is somebody who thinks. So I feel very lucky to be a part of this group of
This
people,
circle.
of entrepreneurs, because you learn a lot from everybody. I think anybody who's made it something, there's so much to learn from them.
ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಇನ್ಫ್ಲುಯೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪ್ರಪಂಚದ ಆಚೆ ಕಡೆನೂ what
But then
you
I think you want to learn from people like Ullas, or because he also came from a very humble background, and he joined Jyoti Laboratories.
distributor ಆದವರು.
Then he became CEO of the company, and then he took the company to the next level. So when you hear all that, I think you get inspired to do more, and I think we all need to be inspired, right?
Absolutely.
So
And I think you're in your 40s?
yes, I'm in my 40s. I'm 46.
Oh wow, you don't
Yeah.
look like that, but yeah.
Thank you.
So currently, what are you curious about? ಎಲ್ಲ work related ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, personal life. You're a swimmer, I've been told. Sports ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ
Not much of a sports person, but I like I like all kinds of gadgets, cars, technology, iPhone, you name it. I like all of those things. I'm just somebody who's curious about all this, like what all we can do with human imagination. Like amusement park is also a good example of that. It's like a big playground for people. Phone is a playground for your mind in a way, right? You play with all these.
Hopefully you're playing with the right things.
Hopefully you see, but that is everything has good and bad, right? You need to choose what
That's
you
why
want.
the choice is always
Choice is with you.
yeah.
So I think I also like to travel a lot. I think that's
ಯಾವ್ದು
for
ನಿಮ್ಮ
me.
favorite country so far?
I've done about 80 to 90 countries now, so seen quite a bit, but I like Bali is one of my favorite places to go to.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, I find it very interesting because it's got a little bit of our Indian Hindu culture and all that, but at the same time it's also very different. It's not the same. It's not, the way Hinduism has evolved in Bali is very different from how it evolved in India. There it's like a mix of Hinduism and Buddhism, and Buddhism is actually an offshoot of Hinduism. So it's a mixture of Hinduism and Buddhism. And a lot of the things here, I think, is more ritualistic. It's a lot of rituals.
Ritualistic and little religion driven now.
It's like a lot of different sects and all those things, right? Like there, it's a little different. Also, it's just a beautiful place. A lot of volcanoes, beautiful beaches. People are very.
It's nice.
People are very friendly and sweet, and
I think it has some vibe there. It makes you feel peaceful there. No shosha, nobody's ill treating you. Ubud is good.
Yeah, I was in Ubud only. So my friend runs he was doing yoga so yoga retreats are very big there. I didn't know this. So a lot of yoga places, and it's a very fascinating place to me. And people from all over the world go there and try to do different things. So it's just fascinating.
Amazing. So lastly, since you're also voracious reader, ನಮ್ಮ ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು 2-3 ಬುಕ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಓದಿ ಅಂತ. While I'm going to sign this book for you.
Yes.
Man's Search for Meaning by
Viktor Frankl, a very famous book by the Holocaust.
ನೀವು ಆಗಲೇ ಓದಿದ್ದೀರಾ, but it's
I
like
have read it, but I read it in my 20s, so it would be nice to read it again. And because we also had a deep discussion about meaning and all those things, so it is nice.
Sure. And ನೀವು 3 ಬುಕ್ಕನ್ನ ರೆಕಮೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಹಾಗೇನೆ ರೆಕಮೆಂಡ್ 3 personalities that we should call just curious ಅಲ್ಲಿ to explore their journey. Could be from all walks of life, any walks of life.
Books I would recommend. So one book I'm not been able to finish it. It's a heavy book. It's called 5,000 Years of Debt. So it talks about the history about money, how money, 5,000-year-old history of money. So that is one book. It's a very heavy book. It's like
years of debt.
5,000 Years of Debt, it's called, by I forget the name of the author, but
No worries.
yeah. So it's a big red book. It talks about how humanity and money evolved together, like in a way, human civilization.
Mm.
So when we were hunter gatherers, there was no need for money because you just. But the moment there was farming, the moment there was settling down, the moment there was land, this land is mine, this land is yours.
Then
That is when money started. So that whole history, I think it's a very, very fascinating book. Then I like Elon Musk's biography. I think everybody should read it. It's he's also, I mean, it's crazy what that guy has done, disrupting multiple industries. Like, I thought Steve Jobs was a genius, but he disrupted one industry. This guy is disrupting like multiple industries. He just bought Twitter and he's disrupted that also. So I mean, if you look at it like that, it's a very beautiful mind. You need to read about people like that. Then I think the other book I really like was a concise version of Mahabharata, which I think everybody should read, especially if you are in India. It talks. It doesn't give the full blown Mahabharata, which will take you ages to read.
Sorry.
It's like a. Or what do you call it? It's like a concise version of it. It's a smaller book. I'll give you the name. I don't have the
Is
name.
it Jaya? No.
Yes, Jaya.
Jaya, is it?
Yeah. You like that book? Did you read it?
ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಪೇಜಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ ಯಾವ ಫೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೈಕಾಲಜಿ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕೀಪಿಂಗ್ ಮೀ ದೇರ್ ಎಂಟ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು Jaya is there.
That yellow book.
Yes, the orange.
Yeah. I think everybody should read. I think every Indian should read Mahabharata because it's such a intricately written book. The plot, twists. Yeah, it's if you can really understand the plot twists that happen in Mahabharata, it's just a crazy book. And to think that it came from our own culture, I think it's just
also
and Bhagavad Gita is just a small part of it. Right?
Imagine the mother of, no wonder it's ಭಾರತದ ಮಹಾ ಎರಡು ಗ್ರಂಥ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ರಾಮಾಯಣ ಮಹಾಭಾರತನೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
Yeah, so I think reading the whole real Mahabharata looks difficult in 2024. But I'm sure a lot of people do that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So
I just put a side question about chess. Do you like board games?
Not really. I think I'm too restless to play chess.
Then you should try it for sure.
Yeah.
Chess.com ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. Start somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just a random.
Yeah. No. I've played chess. I used to play as a child, but adult life I've not really done it for some reason. I think I got sidetracked.
You got too busy with money.
With other things. Other things. Yeah.
All right. So Arun, thank you. And 3 recommendations. Now ಯಾರನ್ನ ಕರೆಸಬೇಕು?
I don't know. I think I like. I don't know. I can say any name.
Yeah.
I'm very fascinated with Dr. Jaishankar, who's your our foreign affairs minister, and I keep watching a lot of his. I'm very fascinated with his view on everything. So he'll be a great guest for you to have.
Amazing. I've written, dear Arun, stay curious in this wonderful amusement park called life.
Oh, thank you so much. Very sweet of you. One of my friends his name is Atul Jalan. He's a tech entrepreneur based in Bangalore. He helps large companies manage their entire AI, like your analytics, all those things. All that software is his.
So everything AI related.
And he's been doing this for a very long time. Not now that AI has become a very buzzword. He's been doing this for a long time. So he could be somebody else.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
This is a music pillow from Repose. You can connect your phone. There's a speaker inside.
Oh my God.
ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಇದು. This is for you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Until next time.
Next time.
See you soon.
See you.
So that was Yuvathan episode. How was it? It was a very heartful, insightful, and of course, how do entrepreneurs think? What's their DNA? What are they made of? ಆದಷ್ಟು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ದ ಜರ್ನಿ ಆಫ್ ವಂಡರ್ಲಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಅರುಣ್, ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಡ್ಯಾಡ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇಡೀ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ತುಂಬ ಜನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಪ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇರೋರು, ಆಂಟ್ರಪ್ರಿನರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ವಂಡರ್ಲಾ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಫಾರ್ ಟುಡೇ. ಅಂಟಿಲ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್, ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಫ್ರೀ ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್ ಏನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ಐ ವಾಸ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಸ್ಟೀವ್ ಜಾಬ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಅವರು ಅಟ್ ಒನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕಲರ್ಸನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ eventually that became the logo of iMac or something like that. So
the first Apple logo, I think, had all the colors.
So the point is that ನೀವೆಲ್ಲೇ ಹೋದ್ರೂ ಯು ನೆವರ್ ನೋ ಯಾವ್ದು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ್ದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಂತ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೇ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ವೇ ಕಾಪಿ ಕ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಸಮ್ವೇರ್ ಅದು ಯಾವುದೇ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲರೋ ಹಂಗೆ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಕೀಪ್ ಟ್ರೈಂಗ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ವೇ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಕೀಪ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಪಾಂಜ್ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಬಿ ಎ ಗುಡ್ ಸ್ಪಾಂಜ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರಿ, ಹೇಳ್ಕೊತಾರಿ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಚೆಗೆ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅಂಟಿಲ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್, ದ ಫೇವ್ರೆಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಶೋ, ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಾಸಿಟಿ ಕಳ್ಕೊಬೇಡಿ, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಟು ಸ್ಟೇ ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಸ್. ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ರ್ಯಾಪಿಡ್ ರಾಶ್ಮಿ, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಸ್ ಎಪಿಸೋಡ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಅರುಣ್.
Thank you so much, Rashmi, for having me. It
I
was
hope
a pleasure.
this ride in my amusement
This is a good
park
ride.
was good.
It was really nice. Really nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.